Hey, welcome back and welcome to, and thank you for joining the Davis channel today. Back at White Clay, still working on some form stuff. Today, real quick, the idea today is to come out and to try to finish kind of overturning the wrist a little bit, just a bit, to get this nose angle down. Overthrow just did a great video on it. I'm gonna try to see if that will help, because I tend to throw it and then I get this like air bounce, and I just want this good pure line, but I also just want the disc to rip out of my hand. So we're on hole 4, just 355 feet. We'll go with the strike first. So the idea is to get my reach back and kind of finish, because I'm usually finishing here. You can see that. So now I want to finish there. That's the goal. That's the goal. Oh, I could feel the difference already. It wasn't a good shot, but it was a good, and I got snap on it. Try to get it, let's try to finish it up a little high. Oh, that feels so good. Feels like it's more of a straight line drive. But I don't like this hole, so we're gonna change holes up. Okay, we moved over to hole 12, because hole 12, there shouldn't be anything I'm going to lose a disc in. It's 285 feet. I think on the camera angle you can see a little slopey tree through this gap, and the basket's off to the right side. But again, that's not really what we're looking for. I'm just going to throw a bunch of shots off the tee. Bucks there. And that release felt early, but I think it was on time. Penetration. Too far. Ooh, that felt really good. It was wet. And the bugs are out in force today. Okay, so the idea, again, is I'm trying to reach back, pull through, and kind of exaggerate this wrist. Almost like pouring a coffee cup the other way. Teapot, kettle, whatever you want to call it. And letting the disc just rip out of my hand. I don't want to throw it. I want it to rip out. Like that. That sounded so good. It's okay. That sounded really good, and it felt really good. Be nice today, you know? Trike, not as hard. That felt so good. I don't know if you can hear that snap coming off my fingers, but dude, that little rotation, and it feels like I think I gotta come out a little bit more. It's coming. All right. I'm overthinking every throw. I just need to kind of get a base. It's too far. No, actually, that's shoot. That's perfect. With the gap hit anyway. Here, it feels like it's coming out more consistent. Had a couple, well, I think that was just my body lineup. I think I was just lining up too much here, like too straight on. Because I'm getting, like, it's as I'm spinning this wrist, try to get it over, it's coming out pretty much on the line. And I think I just needed to adjust, because once I adjusted this, the early hit to the right wasn't anything. All right. Those are 7. I'm gonna go pick those up real quick, and then we'll come back and do some mid-ranges. Didn't do a great job on my disc selection today. So I have 2 hexes, a detour, and I'm gonna throw this Thunderbird too. So forgot to bust it out. That rhythm I threw landed me in circle 1. That thing, that was the bugs. It's really cool. Anyway, the snap is also a nice development, because what that's telling me is that I'm keeping my fingers together. I'm letting the disc rip out, just like lightning. The bolt comes through, the clouds come back together. The disc rips out, the fingers come back together, you get that snappy feeling, which is telling me audibly and physically that I'm not throwing the disc, but I'm letting the disc rip out, and it's giving me that, you know. I really like this Thunderbird. That's a good shot. Yeah, I'm definitely getting that snap. That was too far, but it's also very beat in, and that's about 305. Okay, but if we just do the same thing, the hex, right? Because now we're trying to just be smooth with it. The bugs at White Clay today. I'm looking down the fairway and I just see this cluster of junk flying in my face. Okay, dead straight. Jesus, I don't think I've ever thrown the hex that straight before. Let me just do it again. Dude, that thing almost went as far as my stupid Thunderbird. Just straighter. Detour. I love this disc, but I'm gonna have to put on some hyzer. Oh, that felt so good. No nose up. Didn't really get over on it as much as the others, but I got it to like that point, which is still better than this point, which is a small thing. But that was a great flight. It got right to the gap. It faded with a little bit of nose. And that's the other thing I got to start thinking about. It's like, I could actually start getting pretty good with touchy flights and stuff, just thinking about like the nose angles. Like, okay, like if I really want to get over on it, like hit that nose angle and let it come out. Or if I know I can get it like 260 down the fairway, but let it kind of fade in, just kind of like here instead of here. We're working on it. But thanks for watching. I'm gonna do a couple more. This hole is nearly impossible to freaking record, dude. All right, so this is hole 17. I'm gonna do hole 17 and then maybe do a little bit of a, you know, just fun. You gotta hit the ace run when you go out. I haven't hit the ace, but if the cage is enough. This hole 17, this is 328 feet, almost level, right out there to your left, past the tree in the middle of the fairway. It's a good throw. Now, what got me excited was this shrike finally actually flew like a shrike should. So when I released it over on hole 4, it turned over on me. This doesn't usually turn over and turn into like a roller thrower disc. So what that tells me is a little bit of hyzer and a really good release on this thing, and I might be able to get this thing to sell. Now too much hyzer. Well, that wasn't what I thought it was going to happen at all. Not gonna lie, but we got 3 more discs to try to get it there. No, that's the truth. Oh, that was so bad, so nose up. I didn't feel good at all. So now I'm trying to throw it instead of just hit your hit point, man. me set your hit point. Like that. It's a little too turned over, but of all the disc shots so far, that felt really good. I might have to go get those other two back. That felt really good too, because it is. That was my most pure shot on here. I'm gonna go get those other two real quick. Okay, we're gonna try this again with the Passion and the Strike, and we're just gonna be smooth, because those were smooth and they flew like they should. I tried too hard with the Passion and the Strike, the Passion of the Strike, and it didn't do what it was supposed to. So we're just gonna be nice and smooth with it. I mean, that still was a misfire and I'm aiming that direction, but that felt so much better out of the hand. I just gotta get my angle correct here. Like, that tree dead center is fine. I will go for that play all day long. That strike still felt really good. So I think the takeaways were actually pretty good. I like the idea of getting it up and over. I'm getting a little more snap when it's actually coming out good and pure, and you can, like, everything feels good. And it's just kind of boosting it just a little bit more. And I'm not talking big crazy distance. I'm talking like 10 feet, 15 feet. But that's the difference between, like, or even 20, I guess, because the hex was going into the middle of the fairway on hole 12, which normally my putters, my mid-ranges were going a little short from that. But I like the way it feels. It feels easy. Like, it doesn't feel too hard. But there's a lot of other things I gotta work out, small tweaks before I like, this feels really good. But there's something there. So overthrow disc did this thing. I think it said like 9 throws to get this guy's nose angle down. And his form is rough. Like, I mean, it's not very fluid, but he started to understand it and he was getting there. And you could tell that the nose angle was going down. And even with some of these shots, a little bit more line drive-ish, more pure golf line, instead of like you saw the pure back here. As soon as it released out of my hand, it like, you know, and it doesn't fly right. So we're gonna do this on hole 18. I'm just going to kind of baby them, but I still want to keep the same thought, like the same format in my mind. I still want to kind of get it like that nose angle down a little bit. But this is only 210 feet, so this isn't like, but this is a good one just to like. It didn't feel bad, but it also was very babied. But I'm also throwing a hex that I know is not gonna. A little fluttery, and I know what that is. It's hitting off my pointer finger. My fingers are gonna be so calloused. This poor guy right here. Oh boy. So maybe a little bit more back-loaded. Kind of keep my pointer finger out of it. Let's see what happens with that. Okay, little odd feeling, but I think that's okay. It's a little odd. Just really kind of more. Oh, that was such a nice line. Yeah, kind of keeping the pointer out of it for the mid-range shot, or for the putter shots. Darn, but that was good feeling. This is weird. This is the hardest part, I think. I think this is gonna be if I can figure this out. Yeah, if I can figure this out, this is gonna be fun. Because that felt really nice and pure. It felt really nice. Oh no, that was not pure and gone forever. I wouldn't find that disc. I like that beer too much. Trying too hard, dude. Not a hard grip. Just don't want it to rip out. Yeah, that was a little bit better, but then too loose of a grip. But anyway, all right. Well, that doesn't feel good. I think I got to figure something else out with that. Like some of those felt really nice, but maybe more of a fan grip. Maybe more of a fan grip and just kind of like let it like, or just throw that regular, man. I think we're just gonna throw the upshots. Anyway, thank you. Thanks for joining, man. This is the Davis Channel. We're up here at White Clay in Delaware. It's a little buggy, muggy, and damp. But this was a fun time. I think I got some takeaways from this. I got my little reach back, and instead of releasing the disc about here, I'm opening it up more. And you'll see guys, like sometimes like Ricky Wasaki will get really into it and like almost like really, and his, but that's it for today. So thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, like it, please. We're small, but we're doing things, man. We got all kinds of content and entertainment. So just come join. Come on and have fun. For the boys, for the girls, for the whatevers. And catch you on the next one. Peace and love.